Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. We're here with my partner in crime, my co-host as always, Dylan at Nets Press. Hopefully, I think we're gonna get Pete over from Nets fans. In a little bit he should join us. We should have a three-man panel. But Dylan, I wanted to just get into it this season. Whatever your goals were, if you were an anti-tank guy, if you were a tank guy, you got to feel kind of good about this season because the rookies are starting to play well. They're starting to play, and we got a big game out of Wolf, which I wasn't expecting. What do you have, 22 points?
22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 50% from the field.
Yegor had his breakout game. Drake Powell's been playing really well. You got to feel good about whatever your stance is on the Nets. We all want the Nets to be good at some point in the relatively near future.
Mm-hmm.
You got to feel good about things right now, right? I mean, if you're a Nets fan, there's hope and there's reason for optimism. Is there not?
I would definitely agree. So I think that the way that some of these rookies are starting to showcase these skills that we've kind of been waiting on, it's definitely coming to fruition of what this organization had kind of been hoping for with what they drafted. So Drake Powell's had a really good game so far this year. Yegor is becoming more and more enjoyable to watch. He really has star potential in him. Danny Wolf, the first time he's been given real minutes, showed out. So there's a lot of upside in some of these guys as of right now.
Yeah, Danny Wolf. This is his. He's made a bunch of free throws, but this was his first field goal that he made. It's been a while. This is the first time he's gotten like real substantial minutes in a meaningful game.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Wolf's break? I mean, I'll never forget this game. Wolf showed to me he's an NBA player. What were your thoughts on Wolf, and is this something that we can expect more from in the future? Is this potentially a hidden gem we got late in the first round?
I mean, I said it on draft night. I thought that he was actually one of my better, or I wouldn't say mine, but like he was one of the better picks of the draft class. He was originally a guy that I had projected in the top 18. Numerous mock drafts the day before draft night had him in projected in the top 16. So when he fell to us at 27, I really did think that that was going to be a very solid pick. The skill set is very comparable to a guy like Alperen Sengun. So the fact that he was able to fall to 27 is really impressive for what he brings with his size. Um, so I mean, overall, I still think. I mean, I want to say you can quote me on it if I'm wrong, but I want to say that I had said Joman and Wolf are the two guys that I felt like were going to be hits out of this draft class. It would really come down to whether or not Powell, Traore, or Saraf would be the other hit. Now, as of right now, it looks like Powell long term is going to be your best defender, but there's a real chance the Nets hit on 4 of these picks. And again, when you say hit, this isn't saying 4 All-Stars. It's impossible for a team to hit on 4 All-Stars like this, right? So, when you draft a guy in the late 20s, you're not expecting All-Star. You are expecting high caliber role player, right? That's what the ceiling is of that player. And I think the Nets, as of right now, have their star point forward in Joman long term. I think they have 2 high caliber role players in Powell and Wolf. And I think at this point in time, you're figuring out whether or not Traore or Saraf is going to be your long term backup point guard. I think that's how it's being looked at as of right now.
Hang on 1 second. You gotta be, yeah. We'll get to Traore and Saraf in a minute because they've obviously done not much, and there were some expectations for Saraf, and we'll get to Saraf in a minute. But I want to say on the other 3 guys who have been positive surprises. To me, right now, Drake Powell looks like an NBA ready player, right? Like I feel like he can play rotational minutes on good teams.
Defensively, definitely. Offensively, I don't even think it's his offense that's an issue. I think it's the fact that they don't get him opportunities to score the ball. We saw him when he had an opportunity to score. He looked great. But last night, I think he took 1 shot. He was 0 for 1, if I'm not mistaken. Made 2 free throws. You've got to find opportunities for him, whether that's catch and shoot threes, whether that's playing out of the pick and roll. This is a guy who can play make. as well. We saw this in the game where he had put up, I want to say it was 14 or 15 points against, was it the Knicks that he had put that up against? There was a game not too long ago that he had like 14 or 15 points,
Yeah, it
but he
was against
also
the
had
Knicks.
added, yeah, he had
Yeah.
also added like 3 or 4 assists as well. So this is a guy that you want to get the ball in his hands. You want to let him create, not only for himself but also for the people around him. Powell needs to definitely get a bit more opportunities, whether that's a scheme thing or if it's a confidence thing. They got to let him know that he's able to do these things. So I would like to see him get more possessions with the ball in his hands here in the next couple of games.
I want to see Powell get more aggressive and more confident. He seems hesitant to put up threes. I want him to put up threes. I also want him to put up put the ball on the floor. Like he can do a lot offensively. It seems to me, and maybe it's because he hasn't played a lot of basketball, right? Like he hasn't played a ton of minutes this year. He didn't play a ton at North Carolina. He's got to get comfortable and he's got to get confident out there. I want him to get more aggressive. I want him to be more assertive putting up the three, and I want him to get more aggressive putting the ball on the floor. But the tools are there. Like the ability and the tools are there. I just think he's not completely confident in what he can do yet.
Definitely. Like I said, I mean, as of right now, it looks like the Nets have 3 hits.
Yeah.
At least, and again, when I say hits, I'm talking based on where you drafted them, right? Yegor in the top 10, that's a guy that you want to become a star. As of right now, he's showing star potential. Drake Powell, you took him at 22. You're expecting a role player, a guy who can be a sixth or seventh man in your rotation. As of right now, he looks like he can be that. Danny Wolf at 27, though he was projected in the top 20, which means he could be a high caliber role player. You took him at 27, meaning that he's expected to be more of a backup guy. He's already exceeded that expectation in terms of the skill set that he brings to the team. So if you can develop him properly, then you could be looking at, a secret weapon, whether that be right off the bench as your six man, or if he's able to gain a bit more physicality and defense to be a full-time starting center or power forward, whatever they feel is suited for him, there's some real upside to his game that could be something special out of him. So it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize these guys down the stretch.
I gotta go grab this real quick. Why don't you address John's question and then talk a little bit about the Milwaukee game? I gotta go grab something real quick.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Also, that Clippers first has looks. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, the Thunder have just done everything right. It's very frustrating to see because it's every year they have some form of luck, whether it be deep playoff pushes, super teams left and right, really good, you know, current player re-signings like the Isaiah Joe contract is great. The Aaron Wiggins contract is great. Alex Caruso's contract is really good, and now you're also looking at lottery pick after lottery pick. It's really impressive what OKC's been able to pull off these past few years. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the Clippers kind of operate to see what they can do to prevent that from happening. Because in all honesty, they've kind of got to do something at this point. Whether that be making trades, blowing things up, they've got to do something. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of maneuver around that. As for the Nets Bucks game, I mean, it was torture to watch just based on the fact that nobody was doing anything outside of Wolf. It was a rough watch for sure. But getting to watch Yegor and Wolf have back-to-back really nice performances is definitely something that fans should be very excited for. Um, Whether that be because you finally are starting to see rookie minutes or you're just starting to finally see upside in some of these players. The Nets as a whole were bashed, including myself, for some of these picks for this past year's draft, but they're at least showcasing that they can be something special, which is really good to see. Um, I'm going to do a quick intermission as well and wait for Gary to get back because we're going to discuss some more topics in terms of the Yegor Zillman performance, for the Danny Wolf performance. So we will be right back. All right, we are back. What
All
up?
right,
What
sorry
up?
about that. Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
Did you
you're good.
did you fill the space? All right, did everything? Did we address
Yeah,
John's question?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say yeah. We took a little 60-second intermission, but yeah, we manned the ship for sure.
All right.
Um,
Awesome
but yeah,
job. All right. What your thoughts on the Milwaukee game? The Nets got blown out and they looked terrible, but they looked okay, right? Like after the Milwaukee game, don't you kind of? I know it was a blowout, but don't you feel good about where the Nets are after some games like this?
yeah. I mean, the goal of this season is not to win games. You shouldn't be basing things off of competitiveness. You should be basing it on the rookie performances. You know,
Exactly.
Terrence Mann is not going to be a part of this team's future. Day'Ron Sharpe is not going to be a part of this team's future. Who knows if Nick Claxton or Michael Porter Jr. are going to be a part of this team's future? As of right now, it does not matter how close these games are if the rookies aren't the ones performing in those close games. Um, so whether it's a blowout or not, as long as the rookies are looking good, that's all that I care about as of right now.
And they have looked good. And again, I've been kind to Nick Claxton this year, but I did promise I was going to do this after every game, every show. I'm going to do it. Nick Claxton was minus 26. I'm not saying it was his fault, but it is what it is. And Day'Ron Sharpe was +9. Again, I don't think on a one-off. I don't think this matters.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the game in full,
Yeah,
both of them didn't play well. Like Nick Claxton has had a great season. He had a 9-game stretch of dominance that has quickly slowed down. But overall, whether he's traded or not, the Nets did something right with him this season, which is nice to see. So, kind of just got to hope that you capitalize on the value of him. Personally, I do think that it is smartest as of right now to move on from him while his value is high. People want to say that he fits the timeline. I don't think he does. Uh, I just think that the timeline of this team is 25 and younger as of right now. Outside of one
yeah.
guy, which is Michael Porter Jr., right? If you keep him, great. I think he fits perfectly. But it's really just going to depend on if the Nets want to capitalize on both of their values.
I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to come a knocking about Michael Porter Jr. Whether it's this trade deadline or this offseason. I think people are going to be asking about Michael Porter Jr. Realistically, what do you think? Is he a temporary player, or is he going to be here for at least the rest of this contract?
I hope not. Meaning I personally hope that he doesn't get traded. I've become I wouldn't say that I've been a big fan of his game since his junior year in high school. Specifically his senior year at Nathan Hill. This is a guy who I've been watching for years. So do I hope that he gets traded? No. Do I understand if he gets traded? Yes. If a team comes calling and gives you 2 first-round picks, then sure, capitalize on the value. But do I want to see him traded? No. I do think that he could be a long-term, 2B, third option type of player on a championship team in Brooklyn. So I'm hoping that he doesn't get traded. But, is there a chance that he does? 100%.
He's also become the most entertaining player in the NBA. Can we acknowledge that? The
100%.
most. Do you think that 13-year-old Michael Porter could beat WNBA players in a game of one-on-one?
Do I think what?
13-year-old Michael Porter Jr. So when Michael Porter Jr. was 13, he could beat WNBA players in a game of one-on-one.
I would say probably about 97% of the league, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so too. There's probably 1 or 2 that 13 still
probably
young.
A'ja Wilson, and that's maybe it. That would beat him at
Okay.
13 years old. And that's not anything against them. That's just, again, you have a 6'8", 13-year-old male versus 20 to 25-year-old 5'9" woman. It's
Was he 6'8" and 13? I don't know how tall he was, but
he was like 6'6" to 6'8", somewhere in that range. He was massive because he was 6'10" his senior year of high school. I know that.
Yeah, at 15, I know most guys will dominate girls, right? 13 still kind of young, but you see a lot of these 13-year-olds who go on. They're freaks as children, like they look like grown men, like children. So, as children, so I don't know. What's funny about that is Sophie Cunningham got all mad at him and then acknowledged that he's probably right. Did you watch this?
Are they not dating?
Are they dating?
I don't know. I heard rumors that they were.
I don't know. I don't know, but she got all pissy at him about it, and then basically acknowledged that he was right. Typical female response, all emotion, and then he'll probably beat us, right? Like, all right, it is what it is. Michael Porter Jr. is bringing the entertainment this year, that's for sure. He's also played really well. Update on the injury. Do you know how long he's going to be out for?
He should be back for the next game. It was just a load management back to back.
And as far as Yegor,
same thing. Load management on the plantar fasciae. He's fine. He'll be back for next game as well.
I'm not trying to tell Jordy how to do his job, but why are we resting a 19-year-old? A 19-year-old can play back to back. He's 19.
I think it's more so just the extent of the injury. I'm not sure if you had saw my post the other day, but this is the injury that he had was much worse than people thought. He was in a wheelchair for a little bit. Like the injury that he had sustained was something that not many people knew about, but it was something that was definitely more serious than some people expected. So I'm not going to question how they handle it. I think that whatever they feel is necessary is what they have to do. But what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, boys? What's the top?
Well, we're talking about the emergence of the rookies. Pete, I know you're a pro Tank guy. You want the Nets to lose, and the Nets are losing, so you got to feel good about that. But you also got to feel good about the way the Nets rookies are playing. Like, to me, this season's going exactly as you would draw it up. They're 3-15, but the rookies are starting to play well. We saw Danny Wolf have his breakthrough game. Yegor had his. Drake Powell's been really good whenever he's gotten minutes. What are your thoughts on the rookie and your thoughts on their development? Like, there's hope now, right? Like, we have hope. We have something as Net fans.
No, there's no hope.
There's no hope.
No, I think we have to be very careful in saying that one game is a breakout, right? I'd much rather see, like an example, I'd much rather see what Drake Powell is doing, like playing consistent defense and like little spurts here and there, but him growing compared to like one Danny Wolf game. Now, if Danny Wolf is consistent and does this all the time, of course, then you believe in it. But I see a lot of people buying in very, very quickly, and I think we have to be a little careful about that.
Look, I agree. Like, I'm not putting any of these guys in the Hall of Fame. I'm not even putting them in All-Star jerseys. What I'm saying is it looks like they have the beginning of something, right? Like they're not completely the last 2 years.
They have potential.
Yeah. And that's the first time we've had that since we traded KD and Kyrie. Like, since we traded KD and Kyrie, we've been like a chicken with its head cut off. Like, no direction, clueless. We're gonna let Mikal Bridges run the offense. Like it's bad. It's really bad. I'm not saying we're close. We're not. I'm not saying any of these guys are going to be all-stars. It just feels like we're building a foundation. Whereas prior to this, we didn't even have a foundation.
You know what I was really happy about? I'm very happy about Wolf. I'm a believer in Wolf, right? But what a lot of people I see are not mentioning is Saraf had a decent game last night. What do you have, like 10.7 assists? Something like that. I think he was 2 of 4 from 3. I think that's something that we should be talking about also, right? He's 19 years old and putting up 10.7 assists is great. Now, like you said, I don't think he's going to be an all-star, but like you see stuff like that, and it makes me very happy, especially how teams were sagging on him so early for him to hit 2 of 4 from 3, get those assists.
A couple threes.
I'm happy.
Well, we didn't really touch too much on Saraf. I want to get your Dylan's take on him too. Saraf, talk about, he played 30 minutes. He played 10 and 7. He hit a couple threes. Break down what you thought of Saraf's performance against the Bucks.
I think it was solid for the role that he had been playing. It didn't look like he was trying to do too much in that game. But to finish with 10.7 assists, he shot 50% from the field, 50% from 3. The 3 ball looked much more improved from his first couple of games in the NBA. So it definitely seems the G League has helped him a bit. So overall, I mean, I'm not going to say that he looked incredible, but did he look much better than his prior NBA appearances? For sure.
And Pete, talk a little bit about what you thought on Saraf. What you like about his game?
I think I'm going to keep it a very vanilla, thing here. We like that he's obviously young. He seems like he's confident. He needs to get that shot down from three. He could drive. It looks like he has a good passing IQ for his age. You know what I mean? Like there's not too much to it. It looks like at least a solid backup point guard. You know what I mean? Like he could drive to
Yeah.
the hoop. It looks like he has he does that little spin move when he stops, starts, and does that little fadeaway move, that spin move. It's he has something to grow. You just want to see potential at this point. And for a point guard, you want to see that the game isn't too fast for him. And at least to me right now, it doesn't look like the game is too fast for Ben Sarath.
That was my concern with Sarath, that the game was going to be way too fast, and that he didn't have his skill set wasn't going to translate to the NBA because he was not athletic enough, and he was going to get cooked on defense, and his offense was going to be muted because he's slow. And that's really, I mean, it's only been a few games, but that doesn't look to be the case.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of time, right? But I like the potential of Ben. I don't see all-star, stats falling off the page, you know what I mean? But I think he's going to be a solid, like, at least backup point guard, someone you could depend upon. I said before Ricky Rubio as a good comp. I don't know if I would stick to that as I'm seeing his game get better, but I see him in a Ricky Rubio type role, like not an all-star, could start on some teams, would be a backup on a good team. I like that for him, especially as he gets better.
They took what, sir, the 27th pick in the draft?
Yeah, right? If you can get somebody, a contributor in the 20s, you hit a home run.
No, I agree. If you take Ricky Rubio at the 27th pick or an equivalent there of Ricky Rubio at 27, that's a great pick. That's a hit. That's definitely a hit.
Absolutely.
I wanted to transition to two of the more veteran players. Tyrese Martin. He's played well. Your guy, he's rebounding. He handles the ball. He's been shooting the ball okay. Is Tyrese Martin a legitimate backup point guard in this league? Does he have a role in this league as a backup point guard? I'll start with you, Pete, and I'll get to Dylan.
Let Dylan go first. I've been talking a lot.
All right.
We're talking about who again?
Bruh. Tyrese Martin.
Tyrese Martin.
Next question, Pete. You got this.
Are you serious? You want me to go?
Yeah. Okay. No.
Okay. Take it. Go ahead. No comment.
He's had a good couple games, but does anybody really think that he's like a backup point guard? He's a shooting guard. It looks like he could have a decent game. But the thing is, if he was on Denver, would he even be like on the roster? Would he even be getting minutes? Like, I don't know. Like, you have seen a little development in his game, and I could see why Jordy likes him and wants him to be around. But, like, is he a long-term piece? Like, I don't know.
All right. I mean,
so.
Does he have a fit in the NBA? Like, if the Nets cut him tomorrow, if Nets cut him today, would 5 teams call him tomorrow?
The Washington Wizards offer him a 2-day contract.
Could you replace him with? Is he replaceable? I think he's very replaceable.
If a team if Tyrese Martin was a free agent, and you needed a backup point guard, would you consider Tyrese Martin for that position?
No.
All right, that's basically okay. That's what I was looking for. All right.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Yegor Zhilman real quick. He has liked our posts now twice on Instagram, and he did comment on the last one. The dude absolutely loves this fan base, and I love it. This kid is absolutely what we needed. Just wanted to put that out there.
I didn't even know we had a fan base. So we do have a fan base, and Yegor loves it. That's a double win. That's like 2 wins in one.
That is exactly. Yep. I was gonna say I had no pull it up on here.
Did you know that, Pete? Did you know that we had a fan base?
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
the few, the proud.
Yes, the net fans. The few, the proud, the net fans. You want to pull up?
I was gonna say here. I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see if it actually works. Or here, you know what? I'll just send it to you. You can pull it up.
Dead air.
You sent it to me on Twitter or on
Instagram.
Instagram. All right, hang on.
Hopefully, you're not gonna have to log in on your computer, but
to
All right,
kind of kill the
hang
dead
on.
air over here. Have you
Yeah.
guys been following what Nolan Torre is doing in Long Island?
He's been tearing it up in Long Island. I saw he had a couple of big games. Josh Allen made history today, most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback at 76. Shout out Josh Allen. We got any Bills fans here?
No, but thank you, Bills, for beating my Steelers once again. Please, Art Rooney, fire Mike Tomlin. Fucking bum.
Bring
If
him
Mike
to the
Tomlin,
Giants.
Yeah, please, please give me a second-round pick, 2 future second-round picks from the Giants, and you can have Mike Tomlin. I'll pack his
Absolutely
bags
not.
for him. The guy's a fucking piece of shit. One of the most overrated head coaches in football history. The guy sucks.
How many?
I don't
How many
want to talk about
how many
football too much, but doesn't he have a ring?
Yeah, that was handed to him by Bill Cowher's defense. The guy sucks. He's fucking useless.
How many
11 straight
losing-
years of mediocrity.
How many losing seasons has he had?
I don't give a shit about losing seasons. If you're stuck in the middle, that's worse than a losing season.
There's an argument for that. They are constantly in the middle. I mean, you can
Being stuck in
they're
the middle
first-
is the worst place to be in any sport possibly known to man.
To be fair, they are in first place, are they not?
The Steelers? No, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we're now behind the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. Or
The
Ba-
Ravens
it
are
was
6 and 6.
Yeah,
The
we're
Ravens are
tied
6
with
and-
them now. Yeah, we were 3 games ahead of them. Now we're tied with them. Mike
6 and
Tomlin,
6.
go fuck yourself. Please,
Six and
Let's
somebody.
get
yeah.
back to the Nets. We're gonna bore them.
Yeah, I'm gonna freak the fuck out if I have to talk about this team more.
All right, so is this what we're looking at here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's this comment right there.
Oh, love the tunes. There you go, Yegor. Shout
Hell
out
yeah.
Yegor. Yeah,
Make it a little
I-
bit bigger. They can't see that.
I
Can
can't
you?
make this bigger. I don't.
I was
think
gonna say
can.
it's clear on my screen.
Okay.
Maybe they could see it better than I.
I was gonna say, did you
I
see
could
it?
see it, but well, what's he saying?
I was gonna say I put the
Love
Natasha
iTunes.
Bedingfield. What is it?
Yeah.
Unwritten as the background song.
It's unwritten. Yeah,
Favorite
I don't want to
song.
play it. Yeah.
Yeah, copyright
Yeah,
purposes.
it's unwritten. Yeah. Why'd you pick that song?
That's his favorite song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
if
his
you
favorite
remember-
song.
I was gonna say on draft
Okay.
night, that's what he said his favorite song was. We had to throw it in there for his breakout performance.
All right. If that's your favorite song, I'd hate to hear your least favorite song, but shout out. It's cool.
You know they're
All
playing
right.
Natasha Bedingfield when he like makes threes now.
Yeah, they do that now at the stadium.
That's
Yep.
ridiculous. That's funny. That's pretty funny.
People like what they like.
I was gonna say he's from overseas. He's got a good taste in music. What can we say?
When I was getting my hands wrapped and getting warmed up, I used to always listen to Michael Jackson. So I guess everyone's got their own thing, right?
There you
Natasha
go.
Bedingfield. All right, it's what it is. And just keep playing like this. Just he does look to be a future star. Pete, you want to rain on this parade, but does he look like a future All-Star to you? I know you're gonna piss on my Cheerios. So go ahead.
Actually, I'm not.
All right.
Something that I'm kind of happy you brought this up. I was gonna make a post about this, but then I got lazy. One thing I thought that was really important by that big game he had the other day, that with all those like 22 or 23 second half points, was he was scoring a bunch of ways. For him to grow his game, he's gonna have to build a reputation of knocking the ball down from 3, right? And we saw a couple plays in that fourth quarter where he used a pump fake to either get by somebody or make someone commit to him, and you wound up getting either space, open shots, or whatever. And that's going to be a huge part of his game, because when he drives after blowing by somebody, someone's going to be open on the perimeter. Somebody else might be cutting, or whatever it may be. It's going to open up his game and the whole offense's game, and that's very important. I love seeing that.
I wanted to transition to the upcoming schedule. I wanted Nets press. Dylan, Pete, how you feel? You guys are Big Tank guys. How are you feeling about where we are right now? Is it 3-16 right now? Is that what we are? 3-16, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling about the tank and the way things are lining up with that?
I just think the Pelicans are pieces of shit.
They can't help it. Like, no, you're not wrong, and they're not doing it on purpose. They have no reason to tank on purpose. But
They have no reason.
yeah, pick's gonna go to the Hawks.
It's
I-
pathetic. I've watched them lose 3 of their last 5 games after leading going into the fourth quarter. or at least keeping it within 3 points. Like it's just it's so frustrating to try and hope for them to win. But the Pacers are starting to get healthy. They're starting to get better. Realistically, the only team that scares the shit out of me as of right now is the Thunder because they have the 5th overall lottery odds, thanks to the Clippers, who are 5-15, who also have Zubac, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard, by the way. So absolutely pathetic what's going on over there in Los Angeles.
I wanted to share this too. Well, Dylan, Pete, your thoughts on where we are in the tankathon. Your feelings on where we are right now. Is that everything working out according to plan?
So far, I know a lot of people are like getting nervous because you look at Tankathon, right? There's 6 teams within 3 games of us behind us. There's like I think 4 games separate the first overall pick to what would be the 9th best odds in the lottery. So there's a lot of teams there. But I will say this: if you look at divisions, there's a lot of teams with 2 bad teams that might be going for, like for a big lottery pick. The Nets don't have as much competition, and these teams are going to have to play them, each other at some point. I think the Nets are very good right now. They're in a good position.
I was going to say right
The
now
Nets are on.
we're 3 games behind the Utah Jazz for the 9th we're 3 games ahead of the Utah Jazz for the 9th overall pick. So it is an extremely tight race, but you also have to remember this team's going to win 1 out of every 7 games maybe. So realistically, we should be all right.
Do you guys know how many games we're on pace to win this year? If we kept it,
if we're 3-16 right now, what is that? 6-32. So that's what 38 games. So that's what 12 and
I don't do
math. 12 and 64. So that's what 76 games. So right now we're on pace for like a 13-win season.
Yep. Bingo. Good math, Dylan. We're on pace to win 13 games. Like, I don't even think anyone predicted us to win that little. I don't even think Dylan picked us to win. I said 20.
I had 24. I had
14.
I was like 24 or 21, I think, something like that. I don't remember the exact number. So I mean, I know there's other teams as bad as us, but we're on pace to win 13. How many teams in the history of basketball in an 82 game season have won less than 13 games?
I believe 5.
Not many. So
then the fact that there's going to be 3 teams that may do it this year is even more pathetic.
What does the NBA do about this, guys? I mean, because it's clearly
change the fucking lottery. I've been saying this for 3 straight years. The lottery is rigged to make teams who are mediocre stay good. You need to make it to where the bad teams are going to get good players. So this way you can filter in and out good teams. You cannot have the same 8 teams be good forever. And you can't have the same 4 mediocre teams make the same 4 smart decisions to keep themselves above mediocrity. You need to switch up the lottery system. The bottom 4 teams should be in their own separate lottery. If you want to make the 4th worst team in basketball the number 1 pick, by all means do so. But there's no reason that the bottom 4 teams should not receive bottom 4 picks. There's no reason whatsoever.
I love what you're saying, but the problem with that is that I'm a race to try to get into that bottom 4.
Well, I was going to say
people are going to tank even more.
I was going to say you didn't let me finish my point though. You should be put in the bottom 4, but if you tank again the following season, you should only be able to be put into that lottery, into the 1 through 4 lottery, once per every 2 years. So you would be forced. So you would pretty much be forced to win games the following season, and if you don't, you'll be penalized by not being put into the top 4. Should be
so you can't tank you can't trust the process.
You can't
like Philly.
tank in back-to-back years. Yes, if you want to do it once every other year, sure, but you should not be able to. You should not be able to for back-to-back years. There should be some form of system that gets put into play where the bottom 4 teams receive top 4 picks, randomized in a lottery system. But if you are the worst team in basketball again, you should not be able to be put into that lottery system again for at least 1 year.
Only the winner of those 4 cannot be in the lottery again. Is that what you're saying?
I would say, I mean, again, this is just my personal opinion, but I would say if you are I would say the top 3, you shouldn't be able to enter the top 3. You should be put at number 4. If you win the lottery as the 3rd or 4th team or whatever, honestly, if you win the lottery 1 year, the next year, if you're a bottom 4 team, you should not be able to get a pick higher than 4.
I like that
Okay.
if you win the lottery. I like that. That's tough. It's tough because there's ways that you go about it, but I don't know if there is a way to stop tanking. I don't think there is.
If what they did last year by giving the top 2 picks to Dallas and San Antonio doesn't stop teams from tanking, I don't know what's going to stop them.
Because you're not trying to win the lottery. You're trying
You're
to give
trying to
yourself
have the
the
highest-
best chance
Yep.
to win the lottery.
Yeah, I think it's I get it. I just think it's like insane logic. I think it's insane reasoning. Do we all agree that the NBA fixes its own lottery? I don't rigs, fixes, however, whatever phrase you want to use, that the NBA determines the outcome of the draft. Do we all
Yes.
agree on that?
I don't. I think
Pete.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it a little bit more. I used to think that was a charade because they literally filmed the lottery, right? And you could see it happening. But when they're done, after you see the ESPN broadcast, the actual lottery has already happened. It's in a sealed room, right? It's already filmed. A group of people who watch it, reporters and teams, have to stay into that room till the end of the ESPN broadcast. Then the NBA uploads it online. You can see last year's right there. But what I do think, I think the first overall pick is predetermined.
And then the rest of it?
Everything else is legit, though.
I don't understand what the point of having a lottery is other than to fix it. I'm being serious. Like, why else would you have this convoluted system if not to fix it? Why go through it? Why not just like give the worst team the number 1 pick like they did
to stop tanking?
But that obviously hasn't worked.
There's no like. How do you do a lottery? How do you do a draft without like having the bad teams have the best chance at getting the worst players? Right. You don't want the good teams.
When the Knicks won to get when the Knicks won to get Ewing, all the non-playoff teams had one shot. They had their card. Remember, Stern picks the card. So whether you finished last or the first team out of the playoffs, you had the same odds of winning. And then they started adding balls and stuff. But when the Knicks won, the Knicks were not that bad. They weren't anywhere near the worst team. But it didn't matter because there were no lottery balls. Everyone had one card, and then he picked your card out. Remember? That's just the way that it was.
You'd prefer that?
I would prefer either that. So that's going to stop tanking because you're not.
But that's how the Spurs and the Rockets wound up getting coming up, right? The bad not so bad teams moving up.
Or I would just do it like baseball and football do.
In Dallas.
Yeah, right. And they won and they tried to compete. I want teams to go out and try to compete. I don't want teams doing what Philly did last year, what Utah did last year. I want teams to go out and try to compete and try to win games. Losing games on purpose rubs me the wrong way as a fan and as someone who just likes basketball. It's like, what am I watching here? Is this team even trying to win? Like,
when you get Peterson, you'll be happy that it's like this.
No, I won't. Well, just because it worked out my way doesn't mean, yes, you have to use the system and the rules to benefit you. But like, I'm going to address that in 2 ways. A, you would have no control over that. And B, you have no control because I believe the NBA rigs it. Like, I don't see how we can say they don't after everything that we've seen. But I think everything's.
I agree. It's fucking rigged. I agree. I don't have any debate.
They're allowed to. It's not even like they're breaking. It's their lottery. It's their entertainment. They can do anything they want to do. They can give Oklahoma City the next 10 number 1 picks in a row if they want to. Like, it's their league.
Then why would you make the Nets a team in New York City, the biggest market, in need of a star? Why wouldn't you let them be in the top 3? Why wouldn't you let them select an Ace Bailey who
fan base and revenue?
Think about
fan base, revenue, and marketability.
Exactly. That's why I don't think it's rigged. I think the first overall pick is rigged, and after that, I think it's legit.
It maybe. It's
I think the top 3 is rigged.
But why stop there? Like, why stop there? Why not just rig the whole thing?
Because realistically, how many draft classes are there where there's more than 3 great players?
Not many.
Not many. Yeah, not many.
So you rig the top 3 to make sure those 3 great players end up in franchises that either A, has done something that you've wanted them to do, aka trading Luka Doncic to the fucking Lakers, or B, a team that still has high marketability, fan base, and revenue, aka giving the Lakers a top 3 pick for Lonzo Ball a couple years back. You know, same thing with the Pelicans when they traded Anthony Davis the following year. They got Zion Williamson. Same thing.
It's just everywhere. Like the NBA wanted Lonzo Ball to the Lakers. They wanted Derrick Rose to the Bulls. Like, and every time they want something, it just seems to happen. It's quite extraordinary, actually. Like all right. Like I just look at it as. So my thing is the NBA wants to put these stars in some place they can succeed, where they can get in the playoffs and they can be relevant. I don't think putting together a god awful team with no upside is that thing. Like I don't think building a consistent loser like Washington or Charlotte does entices the NBA to give you Darren Peterson. I think doing what the Spurs did or doing what the Mavericks did entices the NBA to give you a top-notch, a top-notch prospect.
Then we should have picked ahead of Philly then, right?
But the NBA loves Philly. We know that. They give them the first overall pick all the time. How many times has Philly picked the top 3?
Because they've been in the running for it a lot, right?
And Charlotte doesn't pick in the top 3. Washington doesn't pick in the top 3. Philly does. LA does. Boston does.
I can tell you why. Because back when Philly was doing the process thing, right? That's when the draft odds were a little different, or a lot different, where like the top 3 teams, actually had a better shot. And if you're the worst team in the NBA, I think the worst you could have picked was 4th. Now the odds are a lot worse.
What would it behoove the NBA to give Charlotte and Utah the top 2 picks in the draft? How would that make the NBA better?
Utah has a thriving fan base with a lot of culture out there.
Right, it wouldn't, and that's why they don't get the top 2 picks, right? Because it doesn't behoove the NBA in any way, shape, or form. That's why they don't get those picks.
You know what I think about when you say like the draft is rigged? I always think about when the New Jersey Nets took Derek Favors. They were the worst team. They wanted to get in 3rd. Everything pointed that you'd rather have the Nets moving into Brooklyn with a John Wall over the Wizards. The Wizards were getting their team sold. Like Ted Leonsis just bought it at the time. So you can make an argument for that. But then why not make the Nets 2nd overall? You want a star in Brooklyn. Why? You know what I mean? I always think about that.
I'm not speculating. I'm not going to speculate as to why they would give these players to specific teams. All I can do is look at the evidence and say something doesn't add up here. I'm not a guy that believes in coincidences. I really don't. Like when something doesn't look right, it's because it's not right. Right? Like I don't really believe anything I'm told ever. Like the moon landing thing, like these all seem silly to me. Like I just don't believe any of these things. I don't believe that just incredible odds happened to get Cooper Flag 1 to Dallas and then Dylan Harper 2 to San Antonio. Despite all the odds, I don't believe it. I'm out. Kyrie to Cleveland. I'm out. These things just seem far-fetched to me. Am I crazy? I don't know. Maybe. Did it behoove the NBA to let Detroit get Cade? Yeah, I think so. You got a young, promising team there now in Detroit. Again, I'm not going to speculate as to why the NBA chooses to put these guys on the teams that they do. I'm just saying that they do, right? Like we can come up with reasons why these guys may go to this team. It just I don't know why the NBA wouldn't rig their own lottery. Like why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they do it?
There's no reason for them not to.
That's my point. Like I don't see any reason not to rig their own lottery, and they should just come out and say it so that teams stop tanking. Pete.
About what? So them stop tanking with knowing that it's rigged?
Yeah, then if the NBA said we rig our lottery, there'd be no more need to tank, right?
Yeah, but then you can't sell like the television rights to the lottery and the draft, and the fans know that, like why should I watch this? Or why should I even watch the NBA? Like the league picks the winners.
I mean,
it's the same thing with gambling, though. Like we all know gambling's rigged. You have players that are involved in gambling. It's the same thing with the
We know
lottery.
that for a fact. We know someone went to jail and wrote a book about it while in jail.
Yeah,
Like we know this.
like all of these things are rigged of some form of way, whether it be the organizations doing it, the players doing it, the higher ups doing it. There's always something being rigged in professional sports, especially a professional sports that's draft process is presented to you by a fucking lottery that's behind closed doors now. It's rigged. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it at this point. It's just rigged.
They said when they got Chauncey and all those guys, they were originally investigating Major League Baseball, and this fell into their laps. They said what they're working on in Major League Baseball is going to make the basketball scandal look like child's play. Like it's going to make it look like a Mickey Mouse organization.
I wouldn't doubt that. Baseball's way worse.
Baseball.
You could bet on balls and strikes. Like the Cleveland Indian pitchers, they were saying the way that it would work, they would tell their friends, when a ball was going to be in the dirt. And if I was a pitcher, I'd do the same thing. I'd say, yo, Gary, third inning, first batter, I'm going to throw a ball in the dirt. Bet the house. You know what I mean? Like they were doing over a long period of time, and there's a whole pattern that was picked up. But like, if you're smart and you do it like, I don't know, like once or twice or whatever, you know what I mean? Lower amounts of money, like you could make a lot of profit. And if you're someone who has friends, you're a millionaire, you want your friends to be millionaires also. Like, why wouldn't you do it?
No, I'm with you. Like, I don't know how you stop it. I don't know if you can stop it. People are going to go to jail. Michael Porter Jr. brother being one of them, right? Michael Porter Jr.'s brother is going to go to jail. It is what it is.
Outlawed gambling for a reason. For all these years, teams would never want it. These leagues would never want a team in Vegas for this reason. But now there's too much money involved for them to look the other way.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like the gambling is bigger than the game itself, right? Like
you're right.
Yeah. Like I get people all the time who ask me for boxing parlays who never watch boxing, have no idea. They couldn't name. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, right? Because the money's green, so I don't care where I got it from. It used to be gambling was a way to make the game more entertaining. Now gambling is bigger than the game. It used to be, I'm old enough to remember when you never even talked about the spread. Al Michaels used to reference it slightly. He'd be like, this game's over in more ways than one, right? But you couldn't talk about it, right? It was like taboo to talk about it. Now the game's brought to you by FanDuel. It's crazy. It's how much
baseball, they give you the odds mid-game.
Yeah. Live betting odds. In boxing, they give you their parlay of the night, right? Like it's become an inseparable part of the game. Gambling on the game is part of the game, and there's millions of dollars to be made. I heard somebody advocating for the legalized gambling on professional wrestling. It's like, like really. So we already know the outcome is rigged, and now you want to have legalized gambling on something where we know the outcome is rigged.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's how you'll get idiots who bet on it too. It's like, my God. You'll know I'm like professional gambling on professional wrestling, like legalized gambling on professional wrestling. You'll get people to bet on it. It's like, but it's rigged. You already know that coming in. All right.
Yeah. I was gonna say I just did a little mock draft of my own, just Nets picks specifically, so I had the rest of the picks simulated. Took Caleb Wilson at number 3, Henry Vassir at number 33. And Ian Jackson at 50. Interesting draft class, honestly. I mean, those are 3 guys who have all played at UNC, by the way.
I've done a bunch of mocks too, and every time I do one, like simulated, I get Caleb Wilson to the Nets. So I did it like 3 times. Every time I get Caleb Wilson to the Nets.
I did the picks for the Nets in this one. I just had every other pick simulated.
I see.
But I did take Caleb Wilson at number 3 over AJ DeBansta, which, if you guys want to talk about for a few minutes, I do genuinely have Caleb Wilson above AJ DeBansta right now. For that third overall pick.
Hearing people say this, people are starting to cool off a little bit on AJ DeBansta. What's causing that, Dylan?
Lack of floor spacing, decision making. There's really, Caleb Wilson hasn't really showcased his floor spacing ability, and he's not the greatest at it, but he's dominant down low. He's efficient. For a guy like DeBansta, whose primary game is within 10 feet of the rim, the efficiencies aren't there. It's not as good as Caleb Wilson. The rebounding numbers aren't good as Caleb Wilson. The defense isn't as good as Caleb Wilson. So, to me, right now, Wilson's the number 3 overall prospect in this draft.
There you go. Speaking of, I want to get to this because we've been talking about the tank. Everything's going swimmingly. I think the Nets are in a little danger zone here with the next couple of games. Charlotte, at Chicago, Utah, New Orleans, Dallas. That's a bunch of winnable games over the next 5 games.
1-4.
Pete, how many of the 1-4? I mean, you'd sign up for that right now. We definitely would. How many of these games do you think they win? So you got Charlotte at Chicago, Utah, New Orleans at Dallas.
Man, it's tough. Let me see. 3 of them, 2 of them are away. The away games will just chalk up as a loss automatically. The Utah game is on the 4th. That's a lot of games. That's what, 4 games in 6 days. That's also a lot of games too. I'm going to say they're going to win one of them.
All right,
I
like.
agree.
If you go back down, I'll tell you right now. I think that we lose to Charlotte. We lose to
I think
Chicago.
we beat Charlotte. I think we lose to
Yeah.
Chicago.
LaMelo historically plays really well against us. Brandon Miller plays historically well against us. Nick Claxton plays historically bad against Charlotte. I got Charlotte beating us. I got Chicago beating us. I'm going to say we lose to Utah. We beat New Orleans. We lose to Dallas.
I'm going to say we win the bookends. We win Charlotte and we win at Dallas. Go ahead, Pete. What games? I say we go 2-3. You guys say 1-4.
I was going to say, before he even puts this out there, I was going to say, it's not Mark Williams that stops Nick Claxton, my friend. It's Moussa Diabate. And he's still there, so don't worry. Nick Claxton's going to have himself a rough night once again.
Man, if I had to pick a game for them to win, I don't know. I'm going to say Utah.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the Utah game.
You said to throw away all the road games. That those are automatic losses. You know, all the Nets win this year. All of the Nets win.
On the road. I know.
Yeah, they haven't won a home game yet. I think Charlotte will be there. They got to win a home game eventually. You can't lose all your home games.
You know, I was gonna say Charlotte, and they've won a couple games recently, so I feel like they're due to lose. So I don't know. It's tough.
Hopefully
it's
not.
Tough. I just go by. I guess I go by the big men.
The only game that I could see us losing is either Utah or New Orleans. I'm sorry, the only games that we're winning. The only thing, though, is LaMelo and Brandon Miller and Moussa Diabate play really well against us. Chicago is just a better team than us. Zion Williamson and the Pelicans usually butcher us. Larry Markkinen has played historically well against us. And then, of course, you got Dallas, who, if Anthony Davis plays really well against us. So there's a genuine chance of an 0-5 stretch there. It's just all 5 teams are bottom tier, mid-level, or bottom tier. So 1-4 is my guess.
I'm looking at this right, and like a lot of these games are winnable. Now the Nets aren't going to play well enough that many games in a row to win all those games, but there's winnable games there. I would be surprised if they went 0-5. I can't see that. Those are like 1-4 or 2-3, I think is the right answer here. The Nets don't play. They can't play well enough that many times to go 3-2, right? So I think worst case scenario is 2-3. Best case scenario is 1-4. I don't see it being anything other than that.
By the way, I just did 10 quick lottery simulations on Tankathon. 6 out of 10 times Nets go top 3.
So right now, the only team behind them is Washington. I guess New Orleans is technically behind
New Orleans
them too,
is
right?
a half a game. Yeah, we're a half a game behind New Orleans and
So
Washington,
Atlanta.
actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're a half a game outside of the first spot.
It's just tough because I don't see Washington winning any games.
I know. I was gonna say, what's Washington's schedule? Oh, I know we play them at some point here in the next 10 games. Let's see. Wizards schedule. They do play the Bucks, which, if I'm being honest, depending on if Giannis plays or not, that'll be an interesting game. They play the 76ers, they play the Celtics, they play the Hawks, they play the Cavs. That's really rough. Then they play the Pacers on December 14th. They play the Grizzlies December 20th. They play the Hornets December 23rd. They play the Grizzlies again on the 28th. And then they play us on January 2nd. They play the Pelicans on January 9th. So there's 6 games right there that they should be able to at least win 3 or 4 of.
You know, one thing with Gary, let me get this. I'm starting. Let me get 1 second. I want to say one thing about the Wizards. One thing about the Wizards, you look at the division, you have the Hornets in the same division. So they're going to be, knocking each other out, right? You could say, well, the Wizards are obviously worse than the Hornets, but then at least that gets the Hornets out of our way, right?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, the Hornets are 6-14. They're 3 games ahead of us.
Which is
So-
it's going to take the Nets a month to win 3 games, right?
Don't say that.
3 games.
Don't say that. Don't say it live, at least. That's how you know it'll come back and bite us.
They're just we're all happy with the way they played against Milwaukee. They got blown out. They played well. Like that game went as well as it could, and they got blown. I mean, the team is uniquely and distinctly bad. Like I'm not one that tries to say that, right? Like, but they are uniquely and distinctly bad. They're horrendous. I'm my only surprise is that they've won 3 road games this year, as bad as they are.
Because I think the goal we're looking for is not going to be a championship. So you determine how you enjoy the games by how the rookies play. So if Danny Wolf puts up 22 points, you're happy.
No, I think here's my point. So far, you're happy with the way you're happy with the way Porter Jr.'s played. You're happy with the way Claxton has played. You're happy with the way the rookies have played. You're happy with the development in Clowney, right?
Yeah.
Pete? Yeah, Dylan, Pete, you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
They're 3-16, so everything's going well. You're happy with everything that they've done. Everything is playing up to what we would have hoped for, and they're 3-16. So everything's going well. Everything's going according to plan as far as the development of the players. And you're 3-16, like you're not competitive in most games. That's how bad this team is. That things are going like if you're Washington, you don't feel that way, right? For Washington, everything's going wrong. But the Nets, they're playing as well as you could have hoped, and they're 3-16. Like it's not going to get better than this. This is how bad the Nets are. So when I say it's going to take them another month to win 3 games, I don't see like how they got 5 games here. If they can't get 3 here, like where are the wins? Like, where are the wins coming from? Like who are they beating?
The Wizards.
The Wizards, by the way, should not be this bad. This is
I agree.
Horrifying. Like they've got to blow that shit up. That whole entire coaching staff needs to go. It's really bad over there.
What do you think's worse, being a Wizards fan or being a Jets fan? Like, what sucks more?
It's like throwing shit into fire. It's still gonna smell like gas. You know, it's both are horrible.
The last thing I did want to talk about was Clowney. Again, he had another game against Milwaukee. All of his shots came from beyond the arc. Sometimes he shows some aggression. Sometimes he shows some improved rebounding. He shows that improved little mid-range game. He'll put the ball on the floor, take 2 dribbles. And then sometimes he does this. What are we making of Noah? Like, I want to look at him and say, I see some improvement. And then sometimes I see he just takes all shots from threes. Like where is that mid-range game? Where's the rebounding? Where's putting the ball to the floor and taking 2 dribbles? Dylan, your thoughts on Clowney? I don't know what to make of Clowney anymore.
I don't know. It's very strange. Like at this point, depending on who you draft this upcoming year, like could Clowney be a trade piece? Because he has upside, but you don't really know what it's going to be.
What is he as a player? Is he a stretch 4? What is he?
Yeah, he's a stretch 4, but it's just again you don't really know what his role is going to be like here long term. Like he clearly has some form of value. Like say the Nets do go for a star this offseason after drafting in the hopefully top 5. Could it be Michael Porter Jr., Noah Clowney, Terrence Mann, and a couple of picks for a star? Like, sure. I think that would be enough to get something done. But I just don't know if I see a role for him here long term. It's just the inefficiencies are really inefficient. Like, it's really bad. He's either going to hit 5 out of 10 threes or he's going to go 1 for 10. And it's really ugly. There's no middle ground. There's no 30%. It's really bad for him. So I don't know. I mean, I think that it just comes down to shot selection. I also think it comes down to more so how the coaching staff is using him, right? If I see a player that's shooting 1 of 10 from 3 every other game, How about let's not take 10 threes? Maybe let's just do something different. Stop
But that's what I'm
chucking
saying.
shit up.
If you watch the synergy on him, it's wild, especially last year. It's wild. Last year, he looked like he was peak Klay Thompson launching up a 3 7 seconds into the shot clock. It's like, let's try to get something better off than you're not Klay Thompson. Like, you're not a 45% 3-point shooter from the top of the key. Like, let's not do this. But this year he's been showing, okay, put the ball on the floor. Like he's been showing development in his game. But then there's a game like against Milwaukee where it's literally just him showing no aggression, so no assertiveness, and just taking threes. It's frustrating to watch. Pete, what are your thoughts so far on the development of Clowney this season?
Oh, I got a lot. I was letting you guys get it all out because I got a rant to go on here. The kid is 21 years old. The kid is 21 years old. What are we expecting? Like his game is growing. We see him put it on the floor now. Since he's been a starter the last 13 games, he's averaging 15 points a game, shooting 36% from three. The rebounds are a major issue, right? He only has 3.5 rebounds a game he's averaging, one assist, and he's averaging almost a steal and a block a game. Does he have a lot to work on? Of course, he's 21 years old. In 3 years, he'll still be under 25. He's not even close to a finished product. He's gained some muscle. He needs more muscle. He's going to have to get bigger and stronger. The rebounding, I don't know if it's a technique thing. I don't know if it's a system thing. He needs to rebound better. But for this year, if he could get his shooting stats up a little bit more and just become more consistent, because I agree, he is not consistent shooting the ball. We saw the first 2 or 3 preseason games. I think he was 7 of 10 from 3. And then he went on that huge down run that I think he couldn't hit a 3 for a little bit. And we were saying that he's done. It is what it is. He's a young kid. He's playing like a 21-year-old in the NBA playing against men. I think we got to give him a little bit of breathing room here, boys.
It's year 3, though, Pete. It's
He's
year
21.
3. How many more years?
We said this about Cam Thomas, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
How old is Cam Thomas?
Cam Thomas is now 23.
23.
I think he just turned 24, if I'm not mistaken, or he's turning 24.
24.
But
Yeah.
regardless, it was the same thing with Cam Thomas. I like Noah Clowney. I do think there's definitely some more upside that he has to his game, but the efficiency issues with him have been since Bama. He has been horribly inefficient since his freshman year of college. So to me, that's not more so something that you can develop. That's more so something that he needs to just do on his own, take smarter shots. And I don't know if he has that in his game. So if it comes down to when the time comes for us to get a star, if he's the guy that gets included in a package, I wouldn't be upset about it. He's a solid player. He's a solid player. But do I think that he's a starting 4 in this league? No. If you get Caleb Wilson, DeBanster, or Boozer, they immediately start over Clowney. So
Absolutely.
to me, it's more so just, are you going to trade him or are you going to use him as a backup?
And one thing I want to say before you say something, Gary, we're developing the kids, right? So we want him taking those threes, right? You want him to get those threes up. Should he go 1 for 10? Of course not, right? But if I had to pick between 1 of 10 or not shooting at all, like a Ben Simmons, I'll take the 1 of 10 and see if the kid develops. I think he could be a starter here for the Nets. I really can. But what Dylan said is right. If you get a Caleb Wilson, of course, Noah Clowney cannot be starring over a guy who could be a perennial all-star.
But what is he, Pete? Is he a 3? Is he a stretch 4? What? Because he doesn't rebound well enough to be a 4, and he's too slow to be a 3. He's not consistent. Okay, I don't want to poison the well here. Is he a 3 or a 4? What is he?
He's a 4. He's obviously a 4, but he's young. He's, like I said, he's 21. He's gonna have to put on some muscle. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe the rebounding, maybe it's a big flaw in his game. The guy maybe just doesn't have it in him to rebound. We'll have to see. But I'm willing to give him another 2 years, 3 years to develop. Do you have to pay him a certain amount? I don't know what's going to happen when he becomes a free agent. I don't know what his value is. I certainly would not want to pay him like $20 million a year if he's putting up 15 points a game and 3 rebounds. But I think you have to let him play this out. I'm shocked the Nets let him start. Remember before the year started, I was like, oh, Michael Porter Jr. is going to be at power forward. I wish they would move him to small forward. The Nets actually did it. The Nets are actually letting the kids play. So this is one position that I have to back them up a little bit on.
When what with Michael Porter Jr. coming back? Well, Claxton and Sharp. Are either of them or both of them going to get traded? Where do you stand on that?
Depends on the offer. There's interest out for Claxton. I saw Ari reports. I don't know if you guys believe in him or not. I know Dylan's not a big fan. He said that the Celtics and Nets were talking recently, as like a couple of weeks ago. I don't, I have no idea if that's true or not. But I definitely think that he might be labeled as the best center available on the trade market. So there's going to be offers. I don't know if you look at Claxton and say, you know what, all these years we say, can this guy develop already? Can this guy develop already? Is this the real Claxton? Because if this is the real Claxton, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah, you're right. But like, he's been in the league now, what, 6 years? This is year 6 for him?
Right now, to me, Claxton's worth a salary filler, an unprotected first, and a first-round pick swap. That's it.
I would jump at that. I would jump at that.
That may be high.
I don't think you need a young player out of him. You have draft capital. You don't need a young player in a trade with him. Just get him out, get an expiring contract of some sort.
Yeah.
And get me some draft capital. That's it. Just keep doing what OKC did. Follow the blueprint. It's clearly worked for him.
It's worked for OKC. But to be fair,
logistically, if you, let's just say you do the Boston trade, right? Anthony Simons, a 2026 top 8 protected first round pick. Right now they're at 14. They're currently beating the Cavs, so they should be out of the lottery right now. And a 2032 unprotected first round pick swap. Do we really think Boston is going to be somewhat competitive in 2032 after a Jason Tatum Achilles tear 6 years later? I don't think so. No. Jaylen Brown's contract is horrible.
I don't think that Jaylen Brown's contract is terrible. Would you?
He's not worth $55 million when he plays.
I disagree.
Next to Jason Tatum.
Like, okay, all right.
Last year he averaged 21 points, and he's in year number 8. He still can't dribble with his left fucking hand. He's not worth 55 to 60 million. He's not a top 10 player in basketball. That's for damn sure.
No, I like Jaylen Brown. He's top 20.
He's borderline 20, maybe.
All right, well then he's worth 50 million. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. I think if you're a supermax contract, you need to be a top 15 player in the league.
15? He's probably not. He's not in the top 15. He's in the top 20 though. What do you think, Pete? You be the tiebreaker here. Is Jaylen Brown on a bad contract? Is he overpaid?
You know, it's tough because people are gonna hate me for this, but this is the problem that's happening in the NBA now. In that we have guys that are getting paid like the supermax contract that probably shouldn't be getting it, right? There's no like middle ground. It's either you get paid shit or you're getting a supermax. Looking at Jaylen Brown's contract, he's 29 right now, right? He's going to be making $61 million in 27-28 and $65 million in 28-29.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like 35% of your cap.
Like unbiasedly, I'm taking Cade Cunningham over Jaylen Brown.
100%.
I think anyone would do that.
I'm taking Jalen Brunson over Jaylen Brown.
Easy.
Yep. Easy. These are no-brainers. Yeah, I'm taking those guys over almost anybody.
I'm taking Donovan Mitchell over Jaylen Brown.
That's a conversation. Now we're.
I don't think that's a conversation at all. I think Donovan Mitchell's a top 15 player.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? He might not be in the top 20. You're right. You might be right.
If you want to have a conversation, I would take Evan Mobley over Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard to. Yeah, that's hard to do. But yeah.
I would take Paolo Banchero over Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
That's 5.
He might not be in the top 20. You might be right.
You know what it is? I'm going to count the teammate. Go ahead, Dylan. Sorry.
Go ahead, because I'll go down the list after. We're at 5 right now.
I was going to say very quickly, I think it's the three-point shooting. Like, if he was a better three-point shooter, I think he would fall into it. The last couple of years, this year he's shooting 35, 32 last year, 35 the year before that, and 33 the last 4 seasons, including this one. If they were a little bit higher, maybe you say that. But I don't know.
Yeah. We're at 5 currently. I'm taking Tyrese Maxey over Jaylen Brown.
Nah, I'm taking Brown. It's close, but Brown's
Have you seen Tyrese Maxey this year?
Yes. Okay. What is Max? He's a better ball handler. You're gonna say he's a better ball handler.
Better
better
ball
distributor?
handler, better playmaker, better scorer, better floor
I'm
spacer.
taking Jaylen Brown over.
All right,
Maxey.
tiebreaker here, Pete. Who do you go with this year moving forward? Tyrese Maxey or Jaylen Brown?
How old is Maxey?
Well, just
24.
for the foreseeable future, for the next 3 years, who would you rather have?
Tyrese Maxey's 25.
Man,
And he's
I
putting
think
up
it's
30.
easily,
he's
it's
putting
easily
up
when you say the
31.7
age, it's
assists.
easily
He's
Maxey.
making 38 million.
So if you needed to win a champion, if I gave you a 3-year window to win a championship, I said you can have Brown or Maxey.
If I'm
Brown.
putting Brown or Maxey next to Jason Tatum, I'm taking Maxey.
Yeah, that's probably a better fit. It's it's like it's situational. That's the problem.
So right now we're at 7, right?
Yeah.
Let's just throw in the obvious, right? Jason Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown, so we're gonna put that at 8. Giannis is better than Jaylen Brown. That's 9.
Joker, yeah.
Jokic, so that's 10. Let's go to Toronto.
SGA,
Are we gonna put
yeah.
Scotty Barnes ahead of Jaylen Brown yet?
No.
We'll go to the Ringers top 100 players. Where's Jaylen Brown on that?
Oh, I don't care what a media outlet says. They got fucking. They're horrible.
Yeah, but it's good for reference.
I guess. I mean, we'll go to them afterwards, but we're at 10 right now. Gary said obvious no for Scotty Barnes. I'll give you that one. I'm going to say the same thing for Bam Adebayo. I'm not a Bam Adebayo guy. I think he's one of the more overrated players in basketball. Karl Anthony Towns or Jaylen Brown.
God, that depends on that's a push. Like, I'll say that's a tie.
All right. Depending on if we have another tie, we're going to consider that.
No, you know what? You're taking Cat over him. You are like Cat's size.
So we're at 11, and that's just the Eastern Conference outside of Jokic. SGA clearly over Jaylen Brown. That's 12. Jalen Williams. I'm taking Jalen Williams over Jaylen Brown.
Easy.
Yeah.
So we're at 13. Chet Holmgren. I would say Jaylen Brown for this one.
I would take Holmgren.
If Holmgren was healthy, I'd take Holmgren, but he's never healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take...
All right, so we'll stick with 13 there. Kevin Durant at his age currently, or Jaylen Brown.
That's a push to me. Like that's a push.
We'll stay at 13. Alperen Sengun. I'm taking Sengun without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's 14. Amen Thompson. Is there a conversation to be had yet, or are we still a year?
Not yet. Okay. You can revisit that next year.
I can agree with that. Wemby, I'm taking Wemby over Jaylen Brown, so that's already 15.
But the Ringer has him at 13, by the way, just to keep that in mind.
Yep. Devin Booker, I'm taking Devin Booker over Jaylen Brown.
For sure.
Yep, so that's 16. Anthony Edwards, we're putting him there. That's 17. Steph Curry at his age currently, I'm still taking Steph over Jaylen Brown. That's 18.
18.
James Harden.
Harden's been nasty this year. That's another push for me.
I pick Harden.
I was gonna say I'm gonna take. Let's give it to Harden because we've had a couple of pushes.
Yeah, I don't even hate that. He's nasty this year.
So that's 19 players ahead of Jaylen Brown, who's making $55 million. You want to know how many of those guys are making less than Jaylen Brown?
Most of them.
Most of them. Let's see real quickly. Cade Cunningham's making less. Cat is making about the same, but slightly less. Donovan Mitchell is making less. Evan Mobley's making less. Maxey's making less. Paolo Banchero's making less. Tatum, of course, is making slightly more. Giannis is making around the same, if not slightly more. I didn't even bring up Tyrese Halliburton. When Halliburton's healthy, I'm taking Halliburton over Jaylen Brown. That's 20. He's making less. Anthony Edwards is making around the same, I believe. Let me check. Edwards is at $45.5 million right now, actually. His year 5 is $55.5 million, so he's making less. You've got Jokic making around the same, if not slightly more. Devin Booker. Booker is making $53 million this year. His final year of his contract, he's making $69. So he's going to be slightly more. There's maybe 3 or 4 players that are making more than Jaylen Brown who were better than him. So to me, Jaylen Brown's in that 20 through 25 conversation. Yeah. And is that worth $55 million to me? Hell no.
You're right. There's more players better than Jaylen Brown than I originally thought.
Yeah, and that's blasphemy that the Ringers got him at 13. That is crazy. That's absurd.
Is Joker the best offensive player you've ever seen?
Luka.
Joker.
I didn't
What do
even
you
mention
think?
Luka in that conversation.
Yeah,
By
you're
the
right.
way,
You did.
Luka's at
There's-
21. Is there a conversation that Austin Reeves is better than Jaylen Brown this year?
I'm not having. I'm not
No.
having. I know other people love. I'm not. I don't look at Austin Reeves like that. I know other people do. I don't see Austin Reeves like that.
I was gonna say, just for shits and gigs, we're gonna pull up the stats on this one because Austin Reeves is having a fucking year. Let's see. Jaylen Brown this season is averaging 28.8 points, 5.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Austin Reeves is averaging 28.5 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. There's a conversation there.
I'm not
better
high
team.
on Reeves. I just don't think that highly of
I
Austin
agree.
Reeves.
I think that he's an incredible third option. Do I think that the Lakers are going to go deep into the playoffs with him as a second option? Probably not. But would I take Austin Reeves as my second option if you put him next to Luka versus Jaylen Brown as Tatum's second option? I'm probably taking Austin Reeves next to Luka than I am Brown to Tatum.
Yeah, Brown doesn't really play off of Luka that well.
Brown has the 5th highest contract in the NBA. He's tied for 5th.
Do you have the Ringers list? Do you have the Ringers list?
I could get it up quickly. What's up?
Yeah, if you can, just give me the top 20 players.
I was going to say, I'm sorry, but I don't even care about Luka's defense when he's averaging 35, 8.5, and 9.5. I don't
You
give a
can
fuck.
say that, and I get it. But in the playoffs, you see that it becomes an. I'm not saying I don't want Luka. I would love if the Nets had Luka. Okay, what I'm saying is it becomes an issue in the playoffs, and we saw this last year. He starts getting picked on, right? And it's like, well, now he's got to score 35 just to make up for what he's giving you. How bad he's getting cooked on defense. Like they were picking on him last year in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, by far. But he was also fat and out of shape last year in the playoffs. So, he's healthy this year. He's looked much better this year defensively. But again, you can't expect a guy like him to be a top 25 defender in the league. If he plays solid defense against a slower shooting guard, like a Kentavious Caldwell
he's
Pope,
Cam Thomas defensive. He's Cam Thomas defensively.
He's slightly better than Cam Thomas defensively on defense. He's 6'7". He's 6'7". He's immediately slightly better than Cam Thomas is defensively. Just because of the size.
I got the list. You guys want me to read it off?
Let's hear it.
Joker at 1, SGA at 2, Giannis at 3, Luka at 4, Webby at 5, Anthony Edwards at 6, Curry at 7. What's up?
Who was at 5?
5, Wembanyama.
Oh, are we talking about the Ringer list of players in order?
Yeah, he wanted me to read off the top 20.
I thought you were talking contracts at first. Okay, continue.
Oh, no. Sorry. 8 is Donovan Mitchell. 9 is asshole named Jalen Brunson. 10 is Cade Cunningham. 11 is KD. 12 is Devin Booker. 13 is Jaylen Brown. Sengun is at 14. Tyrese Maxey's at 15. That's interesting. Evan Mobley at 16. Jalen Williams at 17. LeBron at 18. Anthony Davis at 19. And Kawhi is at 20.
That list sucks. Like it was good.
Yeah,
okay, the top 10, I would give you the top 10 is fine. After that, it falls apart real quick.
Also, when are we going to talk about SGA being disrespected as much as Kobe was?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
SGA is the best player in basketball. I don't give a shit what anybody.
No, Joker is. Joker's the best player.
SGA is the best player in basketball.
Come on, bro. Joker might be the best player you've ever seen.
SGA is the best player in basketball right now. I don't care.
He's the second best player in basketball. Joker might be the best player you've ever seen.
SGA wins basketball games. He's the best player.
So you're telling me for 1 year, for the rest of this year, if you wanted to win a championship, I said you could have SGA or Joker. You're taking SGA.
I'm taking SGA. SGA wins basketball games. Look at it. Jalen Williams.
What Joker doesn't?
Jalen Williams has been hurt the entire season. Chet Holmgren is in and out of the lineup because he's made like fucking glass. SGA wins basketball games.
He's the second best player in the NBA. And I think it's second by a wide margin, too. I think first and second, it's clear.
I think if you made SGA 7 foot like Jokic is, he'd be doing the same exact shit as Jokic.
But he's not 7 foot.
But that's my point, though. So when you look at it from his size, at 6'6", he is more impactful to the game of winning for his team. They've won a championship in the last 2 years. Jokic hasn't. Of course, he won it, 3 or 4 years ago. But since that team lost its depth, he has not been able to bring them any further.
But
SGA has continuously brought them further year after year.
I'm
And they're
not.
19
But
and
look,
1.
yeah, his team is incredible. Let's see how. Yeah, I'm not dumping. He's the second best player in the NBA. Check, got it. He's the second best player in the NBA. Pete, you want to weigh in on this before we wrap?
I think it's a push thing that you can go either way.
Yeah,
I think,
I agree with that.
yeah.
I think they're both
I don't think
tied
it's a
for
push
first.
at all.
I think they're both tied for first, just like how I think Giannis and Luka are tied for second.
He hasn't had the best career of any player ever, but you just said like, who's the best player you'd ever see? Current Jokic just had a good argument.
Who's the most dominant out of the two when they go
Joker.
off? I think it's Joker, but I also think that SGA,
I think
might be
SGA
better
just wins
all
games.
around.
Yeah, I just think SGA wins games down the stretch.
Exactly.
If there's a guy that I need in the last 3 minutes of the game and you're down 1 and continuously going back and forth, SGA is winning me that game.
Joker is shooting 70% this year. The effective field goal percentage is 70. 70.
What's his real field goal percentage?
His real field goal percentage is 63.7% and 45.3 from three. It's
nasty.
ridiculous how good he is. He's
Oh,
got
it is, by
63,
far.
45, 85 splits. Come
Yeah,
on now.
He's
it's
dominant.
ridiculous. He's the better individual player, but when you're talking about greatness, right? Just like how you like to say MJ's better than LeBron, even though I don't think he is.
No, I said
SGA
MJ is greater than LeBron. LeBron's a better basketball player. Michael's had a greater career. He had a greater legacy. He dominated his era more than LeBron dominated.
So you
his.
can do the same exact argument then for that, right? If that's your guidelines for greater versus greatest, right? Who's greater versus who's the greatest player? Greater is MJ, you say. The greatest player is LeBron. Same thing for SGA. SGA is greater because of his winning impact. Jokic is the greatest in that conversation.
I just think Jokic is better. He clears everybody. Like there's the level that is Joker, and then the next level is where you have SGA and Wemby. And
I think that's crazy.
It's a level.
I think you could genuinely put Jokic, SGA, Giannis, and Luka all in the same conversation.
Luka, I would put all. I put Luka, SGA. I would put SGA. SGA clears Luka. Can we be fair about that? Because of what
I don't agree. I think they're all on the same tier. Luka's averaging 35, 8.5, and 9.5, and he's got the Lakers
he's great.
as what are the Lakers right now? They're the second seed in the West.
Are they?
Yeah, they're
no. Luka's great. Luka's great. But like, if you said to me, Gary, you could have SGA or Luka. There's in no situation I'm taking Luka over SGA. No situation ever. I'm just taking SGA without even.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm taking SGA no matter what. But when you look at it from like a statistical standpoint in terms of impact, they're on the same tier. It just comes down to the winning player come playoff time. Who's the better player? SGA, of course.
All right, guys, I got to wrap. Appreciate this, Pete. You want to plug your you want to plug your channel real quick? Let us know what you got going on.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at NetFansYouKnow. I do a Nets podcast called NetFansYouKnow. I just had Kenny Anderson on. I had
great episode, guys. Check it out. Yeah.
Thank you. It got mentioned in the New York Post, actually. So very happy about that. I try to put out episodes weekly. And support, like this stream and support Gary and stuff, because when you leave comments and like for whatever Nets podcast or Nets show that you watch on YouTube, it actually helps everybody because YouTube's algorithm actually sees that there's interest in the topic. So do that.
Appreciate you, Pete. Thanks for coming on. Dylan, you got any final thoughts?
Let's keep the tank alive. Top 3 or nothing.
All right, y'all. It's what is it? It's November 30th, 2025, from Texas to the world. Thank y'all, and God bless.
And the stream, hurry.